Okay, I'll try this one more time. Now, there'll be a couple of mistakes because there's no editing in this, so please allow me to make an error here and there. I just want to talk briefly about Broome County's process of collecting their taxes. If your taxes are not paid for a certain period of time, let's say, I think it's like 3 years, Broome County will take the property from you, auction it, and keep all the money. Now, if you owed, say, $10,000 a year in taxes, you owed $30,000 in taxes, Broome County would have an auction, get their $30,000 back, and say your house is worth $200,000, and they would keep your $170,000. Now, the government does not allow a bank to do such a thing because it's not fair. They have laws to protect the citizenry from these unscrupulous banks. So what they do is the bank will foreclose on the property. If a bank is owed $30,000 in a mortgage, the bank would get their $30,000 at the foreclosure sale, at the auction. They would also get any kind of legal costs that they have incurred, any type of costs to force the foreclosure and that sort of thing. They would be reimbursed and they would be made whole of what the money that they have out of pocket, the lost interest, all of that. So let's just say it's another $20,000. So the bank would keep $50,000, and then the person whose life savings that is, perhaps they own the house for 30 years, those people would get the balance, which would be $150,000. But not so with Broome County. Broome County would keep all of your money. And another interesting thing is if you owed $10,000 in '08, $10,000 in '09, and $10,000 in 2010, and say you only had $10,000 to pay to keep, just to keep the property out of foreclosure, they won't take the '08 taxes. You have to pay the 2010 taxes first. Then you pay the older, you pay the newest taxes first. So they force it into a tax foreclosure by not letting you pay the oldest taxes. Now, this is unethical. It's unfair. They don't allow banks to do it, but Broome County does it. Now, Broome County needs to stop doing this. Let's just say Mrs. O'Flanagan and her husband had a house for 30 years. And he dies, and she doesn't have an income, and she's retired senior citizen, and she has to rely on her retirement, whatever money, or Social Security to cover her other expenses, and she can't pay those taxes. And it's a bad real estate market. Broome County will take that old lady's money and keep it. And they'll also do it for business people, and they'll do it to everyone. And they've been doing it for years. They need to stop doing it. These are different times, And the other thing is that they do is we create this guilt on the person. Like, well, they've been informed many, many times. They've had many years to pay this, and they haven't paid their taxes. And so, they deserve it. Well, they don't deserve it. Usually someone who would be handing over, their life savings to someone for no reason would be considered, like perhaps mentally incapacitated. Maybe they're having troubles, maybe they're depressed, maybe there's something wrong. But they shouldn't be allowed, Broome County shouldn't be allowed to keep their life savings. So that's the topic. What do you think?